Hey, yo, YouTube, it's your boy. And I wanted to talk about that Dave Rubin, Ben Shapiro, and Jordan Peterson roundtable discussion. It was a fantastic discussion. It covered everything from tradition to truth to faith. It got kind of wonky at points, but it was very on point. And I guess in a perfect world, it would have been held in one of our colleges, but we don't live in a perfect world. Our academic elites, our colleges and our universities have saw fit to inoculate young progressive minds from dark intellectual thinking on the internet. And in the process, they've dropped the ball and they've let the open market of ideas that is YouTube pick it up and run with it. So don't ever let anybody tell you that good conversations aren't being held on YouTube, because this is a fine example of one of them. All right, now I guess what I wanted to say about the entirety of the discussion is that Ben Shapiro, he's like the ideal. He's a person who's made his peace with truth and faith, and he's forward thinking. He's moving. He's okay. He's situated. Dave Rubin is a Ayn Rand fan like myself. He's an objectivist. He's a liberal, a Socratic. He's always asking questions. He's just really trying to learn. I think the main crux of the discussion is the conflict within Jordan Peterson, and I'm going to try to outline it a bit. See, Jordan Peterson outlines many of the same talking points that Ayn Rand likes to harp on, being that the nature of the individual is to be a hero, that masculinity is a life-affirming philosophy, that we should be heroes, that we should solve problems incrementally, that we always should move towards an objective truth. Where they deviate is that Ayn Rand is a notorious atheist who thinks that old traditions of the side should be cast away, that you shouldn't rely on mystical thinking, that she famously said that the image of Christ on a cross is almost the definition of evil, because that's how society sees you, as a bleeding, destroyed human being for the sake of the collective. Jordan Peterson does not believe in that he thinks that that image of Christ on the cross is life affirming, and that you might not be the martyr, but it might be able to inspire you to sacrifice just a little for the next person, who sacrifices for the next person and the person after that. The algorithm is life affirming, that it makes people want to do better because of some things that aren't entirely founded on objective truth. If I were to describe their disagreement, I'd have to let's go back and try and defend Ayn Rand's thinking a little bit. Because while academia has turned their backs on her, while academia has cast her aside as a sophist, as a pet philosopher, as a trivial dalliance of antisocial teens, the free market, of course, has proven them wrong. Perfect example of this is the camera on your smartphone who swaps out your face. Self-driving electric cars. What do they have in common? Well, long story short, they both use convolutional neural net computing. Long term. They take a picture, they itemizes every red, blue, green pixel, and they put a numerical value on the pixels that repeat themselves. So for a camera, it might take your face and take these pixels. They put a numerical value on these pixels, and then they're able to swap out different faces with them. Very simple. Electric cars takes that to the next level, and it looks at the pixels that represent road signs and traffic and cars, and it delineates an objective numerical value of importance of every last pixel, so that your life algorithm, the algorithm of the vehicle, doesn't end by running into them. See, in Randian objectivism, your life is your greatest possession. You must take care of it. And self-driving cars take that to the ultimate level by putting Randian objectivism to 110% full use. It is the complete validation of her philosophy. The problem is We're not self-driving cars. We're not convolutional neural net computers. We're human beings. We have a threshold for pain. We have a tendency to use post hoc rationalizations. We have a desire to chase after an ideal that might not be best for us. And what I would think that Jordan Peterson wants you to do as an individual is that to start off by being somewhat of a deep learning computer and take in all the things that you're dealing with. Solve the most immediate problem that's in your life. After that, build off from there. Clean your room. Take a shower. Make yourself ready to have a family. Reaffirm your life. Be a life-affirming algorithm. And if that does involve having some kind of traditionalist faith, if it does involve having some kind of connection to an intangible, mystical type of thinking, don't let that go if it's helping you in your struggle. Religion is important. And I guess that's the wedge. Either you're a self-driving car or are you a man. That's all I have to say. Now, in regards to the alt-right, under that auspice, under that line of thinking, if being a white nationalist gives you the things that you want, gives you a family, gives you a reason to be anchored into this world, I cannot denigrate white identitarianism as an African American, because my family, my Haitian identity is tangible to my life. It helps me. You know, I babysit my nephews. I take care of a lot of stuff for my family myself. But I cannot deprive someone on that just because I have to tell them that white is an evil algorithm. It is okay to be white. It is okay to have religious faith. It affirms your existence. It gets you where you want to go, provided that it affirms your existence and it gets you where you want to go. And that's important. I would warn that whiteness is not a strong enough foundation for family, because Richard Spencer is not going to put a warm body at your bedside, and the white nationalists of the world aren't going to push your hips in and out of her vagina for you to procreate. You have to make your life ready to procreate, and that is an individualistic thing. God damn it, if she fucks you, she's not fucking white nationalism. She's fucking you, eye to eye, face to face. All right. That's what I have to say for the alt-right. As for the progressive left, they've been led astray. They've been told that the best way to deal with alt-right dark learning thinking is to avoid it, to quarantine it, to sequester it, to evade reality. You know, the alt-right, they're inclined to think of the worst, right? They're inclined to think of the most evil outcome that's going to happen out of the migration change, about multiculturalism. They are ready to fight the worst evils in the world. The alt-left aren't. They're scared of debating at all. And to that, I'll just like to paraphrase Ayn Rand. You could avoid debating conservatives and the alt-right. You just can't avoid the consequences of avoiding debating the alt-right and the conservatives. One of those consequences just so happens to be Donald Trump in the White House. Peace.